On to this now, and it's the sector which regularly gets the biggest slice of the budget cake. However, it's been more than 2 decades-long struggle to shake the shackles of apartheid in the entire education system. In some quarters, great strides have indeed been made. In others, some are still facing serious struggles. Slindelo Masikane takes a closer look at what's at stake as we head to the polls in May.
Government is pouring billions into educating our nation. The education sector was handed a staggering 386 billion rand by Finance Minister Tito Mboweni during his recent budget speech. There have been admissions of huge failures and successes. Access to education for all children is a huge battle that has been won. But in some provinces, poor infrastructure, pit latrines and the overwhelming demand for free schooling and tertiary education remain.
Over 30 billion rand is allocated to build new schools and maintain schooling infrastructure. An additional 2.8 billion rand is added to the school infrastructure backlogs grant to replace pit latrines at over 2,400 schools.
In 2015, students at the country's higher education institutions voiced their concerns over costs in an unprecedented manner. Protests were the order of the day. The president at the time, Jacob Zuma, announced fee-free higher education. To fulfill that promise seems harder than anticipated. Years on, and historical debt and high registration fees loom large. But what do ordinary South Africans want from their elected officials?
Certainly going back to basics, like the schools with latrine toilets, getting rid of those.
Free education, or maybe, good bursaries and other things.
They shouldn't be selfish with our money, like maybe do their own personal things with our money. They should help us.
The current government focus is not so much on education in terms of improvement.
Free education for government schools and then lower in higher education.
Political parties are making big promises as we head to the 8th of May.
We must choose a government that delivers. And let me tell you something, the DA is that government, because where the DA governs, we deliver, and we deliver to all South Africans.
Free education for students from poor and working class backgrounds will be expanded this year to cover both first and second year students, and we will be progressively rolled out over the next few years.
Curriculum both in private schools and public schools, let there be one curriculum. Under EFF, hausana ngwana wa tlo pasang ka 30%. Kaofela re 50% upwards.
One expert believes that ordinary South Africans' wishes must be valued and taken seriously. He believes politicians must be held accountable to deliver on promises made, especially when it comes to the education of the South African child.
We need to get to the point when we talk about education, it's a no-brainer. It's what ought to be provided by whoever wins the elections. As an electorate, what I need to be concerned about is in what manner that's going to be made possible for me, and how is that differing with other political parties. Not as a favor that I should be grateful because a party A or party B will make free higher education a reality.
Whatever the outcomes of the May polls, the powers that be will have to make larger strides in this sector to make a significant change. If not, the gap between the haves and the have-nots will continue to widen, placing strain on an already struggling economy. Slindelo Masikane, Johannesburg.